What's the conclusion to maltodextrin dangers? Well, I'm going to cover that, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hey, this is Lance McGowan, the Tropical Smoothie Guy, and today I'm going to cover, the first part of really wrapping up what maltodextrin dangers are, and I'm going to do that in the next section.
Hey, this is Lance McGowan, the Tropical Smoothie Guy, and today we're going to do a little conclusion on maltodextrin dangers, and this is part one, so make sure to check out part two as well. All right, so what is maltodextrin? Well, it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing and could be just as bad, if not worse, than using sugar. And some people are like, well, Lance, why are you demonizing maltodextrin and GMOs and all this stuff? I'm not. I'm just saying that it's a hidden toxin because it is a derivative of corn, and then most corn is genetically modified in the US, and almost all of the corn is really just sprayed with pesticides and or herbicides, and so there's going to be toxic residue. So just like a wolf can be dangerous, it can also be domesticated right into the form of dogs. And so the dog's version of maltodextrin would be using maybe tapioca flour or tapioca maltodextrin in ingredients, but you don't always have a choice of that in supplements and other baked goods and stuff like that. So how does maltodextrin work? Well, it gets into your bloodstream fast, and it has three options when it enters your body. It can repair your muscle tissues, it can give you energy, or it can get stored as fat, and that's with any excess calories not used by your body. And since maltodextrin is basically an isolated and overly processed carb, it doesn't have the same effects as real complex carbs that absorb into your bloodstream more slowly, because they usually come with fiber, protein, or healthy fats when found in whole foods. So whole foods are going to be the best option. Non-GMO whole foods as well, because zucchini and squash, guess what, are GMO. And corn, hey, GMO. Soy, GMO. There's lots of GMO. I did another whole video on what are the top like 8 crops that are genetically modified. And there's some ones outside of that as well that are at risk or are genetically modified too. But basically, maltodextrin is a carb, and it's not a good alternative. There's lots of other things if you're looking to as a alternative to sugar. There's agave, there's organic and raw coconut sugar. There's lots of things for that if you're looking for weight gainer, which some people are. They're fitness and stuff like that. Maltodextrin, I would not choose maltodextrin or products that have it in there. It's just eating more calories, and so more healthy fats would also be one way to do that. And just consuming more calories on a daily basis, which is work. Like, I've watched a documentary on Netflix, and they just talk about how much work it involves if you have just a high metabolism. You got to eat a lot of food. It's a part-time job, and it's expensive. But for those who aren't trying to gain weight and don't care about the sugar aspect, I would just avoid maltodextrin because it's genetically modified, and genetically modified foods are sprayed, especially the corn, when it comes to maltodextrin, with pesticides and herbicides and all that not so good stuff. Alright, so next steps are to subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch the next video.
Maltodextrin is kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing because it disguises itself as something that's basically just like overprocessed corn in the form of a carbohydrate that can be used in a number of ways, obviously in supplements and baked goods and tons of other stuff that I've covered in other videos. But it's a hidden toxin because almost all maltodextrin in the US is derived from corn, and almost all corn is genetically modified, and almost all corn either has pesticide producing qualities because it's GMO, or it's herbicide resistance, which means in both cases it was sprayed. And so when we're looking at reducing toxicity in our body, avoiding foods and avoiding maltodextrin altogether is a wise idea. Or at least looking for organic sources of maltodextrin or a tapioca maltodextrin. Well, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to watch part 2 of the conclusion, or click the subscribe button again for more videos, or you can click some of the links in the description box below too to continue to get your learn on.